There's an adventure inside all of us. Some of us live for that adventure. Others let it take them someplace new. Your adventure begins here at Wind River Resort and Casino. Your adventure begins here at Wind River Resort and Casino.
All right, we forgot to turn on the microphone. I forgot to put my microphone. Hey, happy Monday to you all. Hope you're all having a great start to your work week. Hey, it's overcast out there. There are a few sprinkles that have made their way into the valley. Nothing significant, but this is what we've been talking about since last week, is the remnants from Tropical Storm Elida are working their way northward into the area. And look at this. I mean, the radar is picking up on the rain. Now, again, we saw some of this even yesterday afternoon, but a lot of it didn't reach the ground. You see those streaks coming from the clouds? Those streaks is what we call virga, because it's rain in the upper levels of the atmosphere. It reaches the drier surface air and it just evaporates. And that's why you just don't see a lot of rainfall. And that's essentially what's happening now. We're just not seeing a lot of rainfall, but some of it is making its way to the ground. And I think once this works its way northward, we're going to be talking about the potential for more activity, especially as you start heading west of the valley. All right, let's take a look at Redding Divine Skycam. Overcast, right? And deceptively warm. You're going to walk outside. It's going to feel more muggy than you're used to. And those muggy conditions actually make it feel warmer than it actually is. So that's what it looks like from a Redding Divine Skycam. Let's take a look at Lake Shastina Golf Resort in Siskiyou County. Overcast skies. And if you look closely, you might even see some streaks coming from those clouds as well. Not a lot of rainfall, but we are seeing some of those showers working their way in. Here's a look at Jones Valley Resort out at Shasta Lake. Overcast skies there as well. And it looks like a little bit of a light breeze as well. All right. We have got your visibility right now. And just in time, I'm seeing that Jackie, let's see if this works. It did. No, it's not working. Let's see why it's not working. Oh, I know why. Send. That should work. Let's see if it works. Yay, it worked. All right, so we got Jackie Dixon coming in saying, good morning from Trinidad. And of course, looking at your conditions out there, let's take a look. Of course, we got 6 mile visibility. It was actually down to 0 earlier this morning. So kind of interesting. Oops, what did I do here? I did something. Oh, shoot. Let's try that again. There we go. All right. Forgive me. I'm doing some things behind the scenes here. But taking a look now at what we got going on, taking a look at Crescent City Harbor District. Yeah, there are the overcast skies. I mean, the visibility is still pretty decent, but it certainly has dropped a little bit here, especially kind of when you look off in the distance with the 6 mile visibility. All right, let's get you into your Krueger's quick cast for your Monday, July 20th. Your ski meter hasn't changed since last week. You're at about a 2. on a scale of 0 to 5. By the way, to remind you, if you have any comments, questions, concerns about mosquitoes in your area, call the Shasta Mosquito and Vector Control, and they will be happy to answer any of your questions and take care of you. All right, temperatures are on the mild side this morning. We're close to 80. And again, this is that muggy feel out there that we're seeing. And the overcast skies prevented us from dropping those temperatures down much either. Look at Susanville, 72, 65 though in Alturas, 71 in Wairika. And we've got those low to mid 50s here in Crescent City and out towards Eureka as well. We got someone new checking in this morning. Someone we don't typically, I'd rarely see you. So welcome to the discussion. We've got Becky saying, good morning, Redding. Well, good morning to you, Becky. So glad you could join us this morning. And looks like we're going to be looking at those overcast skies out the door this morning. Once again, there may be some sprinkles if you're heading off to work this morning, even in the valley. You know, if you see a couple of raindrops on your windshield, don't be surprised. So there you can clearly see it's all coming in from the west. This is not monsoonal moisture. This is the tropical moisture from Tropical Storm Elida that's worked its way in. This is the HRRR forecast model, and I'm actually more in alignment with what this is showing than what our in-house forecast model is. So midday, you can see the line west of the valley. Showers, possible thunderstorms are a possibility. Now, one of the things that may hinder the thunderstorm development is the lack of clearing. If there's not much in the way of clearing skies, the sun needs to heat the surface in order for us to really destabilize that atmosphere and give us those thunderstorms. If we don't clear things out at all, that it may be difficult for us to see those thunderstorms develop. But you can see even this afternoon, some of those showers trying to work their way in the valley. So a sprinkle, a light shower in the valley, that's not out of the question today. Otherwise, you can see it's just not very significant. And then by later on tonight, it really starts to fizzle out. But you'll notice we still have a lot of that cloud cover in place. Well, today is Monday. We have got our brand new Mindy's safety tip of the week. You know, she talks about all of the great water resources that we have here, right? For swimming, whether it's the river, whether it's the Great Lakes that we have out there, creeks and streams, and even not too far from at least the valley is the ocean. And she talks about the safety of those and what's the best way to stay safe in those larger bodies of water.
Hey Weather NorCal, here in the North State, we are surrounded by beautiful lakes and rivers, and we're not that far from the ocean. But the open water deserves our respect. In fact, nearly half of drowning deaths among people 15 and older happen in natural bodies of water. You see, oceans, lakes, rivers, they can change in an instant. With cold water temperatures, currents, and underwater hazards, they're easy to misjudge. So the safest choice is for everyone to wear a properly fitted, Coast Guard approved life jacket. And remember, children are far more likely to wear their life jacket if the adults are doing the same. So be the example and keep your entire family safe. I'm Mindy Odell with Redding ISR, reminding you that drowning is preventable and everyone deserves to be safe in and around the water.
Once again, I want to thank Mindy for her great tips here. You can always check those latest tips at weathernorcal.com. Click on the Mindy's water safety tips, and throughout the weeks, you can take a look at the ones from the past. And this is just great. And by the way, she is an ISR swim instructor. You may have no idea what that means, but when it comes to your kids and their safety and learning how to swim, getting your lessons from a certified ISR instructor, something I learned, is very important. And if you want the safest conditions for your children, then make sure that the lessons they're getting are from a certified ISR swim instructor. Bottom line, end of story. Go to reddingisr.com to learn more about that and learn more about Mindy. She is the best in town. That is for sure. Temperatures mid to upper 90s. In the valley this afternoon. It's going to be warm. Now, we're not in the triple digits, but it's going to be muggy. It's going to feel a lot warmer than we typically are out there. And for tonight, by the way, the best chances for thunderstorms are going to be in the higher elevations, especially out towards Trinity County, Western Siskiyou County. Now, for tonight, you'll have to forgive me. I'm trying to make sure that I've got everything here. Let's do this. There we go. All right, there we go. It's there. I just have to make sure that I can see your comments. I want to make sure I can do that. All right, so for tonight, temperatures upper 60s to low 70s for those temperatures overnight. And then 50s for the higher elevations and 50s for the coast. Okay, so we're going to take a look at our 7-day forecast for the valley. Now, here's the thing. You're going to notice I don't have a lot of rain. I don't have a lot of thunderstorms in the forecast here, even though we're talking about the potential for showers and thunderstorms today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Here's the deal, though. I don't anticipate the moisture that's coming in from Tropical Storm Elida to really have a huge impact on us. The main impact, I think, is going to be more muggy. There will be available moisture for the potential for showers and thunderstorms. And today looks like the best chance for Trinity County. Now, you'll notice for Trinity County, I have nothing for you for Tuesday, Wednesday. But we can't rule out that potential for a stray shower or thunderstorm even in Trinity County Tuesday, Wednesday. You'll also notice for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, I have no showers or thunderstorms for you today or tomorrow either. That may change. Again, a lot of it has to do with the fact that are we going to see enough clearing for that daytime heating and that afternoon convection? If we don't have that clearing, it's going to be harder for us to see those thunderstorms develop. And that's where things get really tricky, right? Because what the clouds end up doing will make or break our forecast, bottom line. And speaking of bottom line, if you live in the higher elevations in particular, or if you're heading to the higher elevations, you're just going to need to keep a close eye on that forecast and also a close eye on the radar, which you could do very easily from the free Weather NorCal app. Let's get into the fire weather data. It was pretty active. I mean, my Watch Duty app, it was going off all weekend and very active indeed. There's some of the fires that we do have out there right now. So let's just kind of take a look at what's going on. Some of the fire perimeters, the acreage, the percentages, right? So these are the ones we talked about even last week. 3-1 pit fire, over 1,000 acres, but 95% contained. That's good to see. Take you out to the Loomis fire. That is 656 acres at 75% containment. We got the 3-6 wagon fire. That is 205 acres at 30% containment. Here's the Brook fire. The Brook fire, yesterday, you may recall, both those areas were red, including BEV 4370, which is an evacuation order, which means you need to be out of there. However, the BEV 4370 was downgraded to an evacuation warning, which means you can go back to your house if it's within that zone, but just be forewarned that could eventually go back into an order. So you just need to kind of keep a close eye. That's what the yellow means. Be ready to go, although you don't have to go just yet. Taking a look at the Twain fire, 276 acres, 95% containment. The Elephant fire is now just under 14,000 acres, contained at 92%. And the Biscar fire, this is northeast of Susanville in eastern Lassen County. This too started on the 18th. And you can see some of the evacuation orders for the areas in red. Yellow is where you have the evacuation warnings. So just kind of be aware of that. All right, take a look at the smoke forecast. Most of this smoke, actually, even though we've got these fires here in Northern California, most of the smoke that we do see in the area is going to be from the fire in Southern Oregon. That's where most of it's going to be. So you can clearly see that as we go into the evening and afternoon, a lot of that smoke kind of moves on out. But by tonight, not a lot of smoke. Now, the National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning for today. This is for Trinity County, northeastern Humboldt County, and western Siskiyou County. Now, I want to include more of say, central and western Siskiyou County as well, because I do think there could be some thunderstorms there as well. But here's what's interesting. Severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. It's not showing any thunderstorms, right? But tomorrow it's showing thunderstorms, and Wednesday it's showing thunderstorms. It wants to even bring it into the valley. But again, because they're not expecting thunderstorms coming out of Norman, Oklahoma, there's no chance for isolated dry thunderstorms. But tomorrow there are. Now, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with what it's forecasting for today, because I do think we have the potential for dry lightning. But here's the deal. I gave you a lot of information about the fires, containment, all that. We kind of went through a tour of all the fires in the area and where the evacuation warnings and orders are. Moving target, my friends. You're watching now. That may change in the next hour or so. A lot of updates, especially after about 8 o'clock in the morning. A lot of updates on the fires tend to come in. So it's important for you to stay up to date with that information, especially if you're being impacted by the fire, whether it's an evacuation warning or order, right? You need to keep a close eye on that. And what I've done here, since day one of having Weather NorCal, I have taken all of the best resources for you to get the best information, easiest to understand information about the fires from one page that I've made at weathernorcal.com. So go to weathernorcal.com, click on where it says fire danger, click on that image right there, and you'll have all the information you need. All right. So that's what we got going on. Let's take a look again at some of the cameras out there this morning. It looks a little overcast, doesn't it? I don't see many streaks coming from the clouds there, but there may be some sprinkles in some areas around the valley. Taking a look at Shasta Lake. This is Jones Valley Resort. Overcast skies there as well. Deceptively looks cool, right? But it's not. It's actually pretty warm and muggy. You can see the Lake Shastina Golf Resort sky cam. I mean, look at that. Overcast, we're not seeing a lot of streaks from the clouds, meaning not a ton of rainfall, although there may be some sprinkles in parts of Siskiyou County. Taking a look at Soda Ridge, different perspective of Mount Shasta itself. Gorgeous shot there. Overcast skies. See what it looks like elsewhere. We have got Lassen Park. Overcast skies there as well. The clouds are pretty much covering most of Northern California. There's a look at Lake Oroville. Got a little gnat flying around. There's a look at Lake Oroville. And looks like a little bit of sunshine. I don't know how accurate that is. You can see that looks like the roads are maybe a little wet. Maybe some light showers have developed out there. Overcast skies in Highway 99 at Neal Road. This is a look at Crescent City Harbor District. Saw this a little bit earlier. We do have the overcast skies there this morning. Let's take a look at Bald Hill West, looking down at Hoopa Valley. Overcast skies. There may be some light showers or sprinkles there as well. Fort Jones, maybe some showers, light sprinkles. You can see really some ominous clouds that we are seeing in some areas. By the way, Coffee with Krueger would not be possible without our sponsor, Wind River Resort and Casino. I want to thank them for their support. And, you know, I talk about this a few times, is that since I started Coffee with Krueger, they have been the primary sponsor. So super grateful for their support of Weather NorCal and Coffee with Krueger in general. And I want you to do the same. If you happen to see them or give them a like, follow their Facebook page, whatever. It's, you know, what we're doing here. So there you go. Once again, I want to thank Wind River Resort and Casino.
It's time to kick back, forget about your trouble, and have a good time. Wind River Resort and Casino is proud to welcome Uncle Cracker back to the Event Center stage Friday, August 14th. Drift away with his signature laid-back blend of country, pop, and rock, spiked with a splash of hip-hop. Tickets for this feel-good summertime show start at just $25 plus fees. Smile as you enjoy over 2 decades of multi-platinum top charters. Reserve tickets today at windriver.com. Your adventure begins here. Wind River Resort and Casino.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You may notice a change. Typically, at this point in time, I'm up at the green screen and I'm pointing to the maps like a normal green screen, right? I am in Baja, Mexico for the next 3 weeks. Yeah, next 3 weeks. I'm very excited about it. But I'm going to have to take a picture of my setup here so you guys can see. It is very close, minus the green screen. Everything else is pretty much the same. So as I'm sitting here in my studio, which, by the way, I have a green screen behind me to give you an idea, just to kind of give you a sense that I'm at home and just to kind of give you that feel of things are the same. The only difference is I don't have a green screen at this point in time. In the future, when I come up here in the future, I'm working on potentially getting a green screen and have everything pretty much the same as if I was in Reading. So I'm going to be here for the next 3 weeks, but no need to worry, folks. I'm still going to be working. I'm still going to be doing my thing. I'm still going to be watching the weather and keeping you updated with everything. Fires, the works. We're going to be doing that. So no need to worry. I have all that capability here. All right, so enough of that. Let's get you into it. Near normal highs continue. Monsoonal and tropical moisture returns. Chance for mountain showers and thunderstorms through Wednesday, but still no big heat waves in store for us. Let's take, by the way, we've got a couple of new people coming in here. We got Robert saying good morning from Shasta, or good morning, Shasta County. You've also got LV Gunner saying good morning, Reading. A couple of other people are kind of checking in this morning. Semi-regular, I haven't seen you, Terry, in a while. Good morning, thank you. And we have got, yeah, there we go. So I just wanted to check in with you all and just let you know that I'm watching. I can see your comments. And if I have time, I can show them to everybody else as well. So once again, if you look at our satellite image, you can clearly see that big plume of moisture over us. And that's all remnants from Tropical Storm Elida. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. Let's take a look at where it is currently. There it is down to our south. It's going to create some, of course, bigger waves, right? It's going to turn into a tropical depression and eventually just weaken. Because the thing is, where it started, way to the south, warmer waters, right? But as it starts moving northward, it's going into colder Pacific Ocean waters, and hurricanes need warmer water to sustain themselves and survive. So they just weaken significantly as they start to head northward. So overall, you would think if it's moving that much closer to us, we'd see a nice little swath of rainfall over us, but that's not the case. It's just getting weaker and weaker. But it is continuing to draw in that moisture, and that'll keep us muggy, if you will, for the next couple of days. But then by the end of the week, drier air moves in. High pressure begins to really build over the eastern Pacific, over the desert Southwest. But notice this trough of low pressure to our north and west. See that area of low pressure diving to the south? That is cooler air. That's also preventing the heat from the desert Southwest from really building over us. It's going to build a little bit. It's going to be warm. Temperatures will be around normal for this time of the year, but we're not talking about any major heat waves. So yes, still around the 95 to 100 degree mark for the valley, but at least we're not talking 105, 110, 115. Now, look at all of those kind of blue and purplish colors to our south. That is a big plume of moisture, folks. But look at us. We're kind of in the green and yellow. That's moist. That's certainly a more humid atmosphere. That's, again, going to be the case again tomorrow. But we're going to start to see things begin to dry out by Wednesday and Thursday in particular. So it's not going to be as muggy. It's going to be back to the typical hot and dry conditions. And we keep it that way going into the weekend and even into early next week. So that's going to be it for a while as far as that moisture coming in until we see more hurricanes develop down to our south and see if those work their way northward towards us. So again, I showed you this earlier and I want to show you this. This is coming in from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. They put these updates out, several times a day. It goes out to about 3 days. And you can see for today, it's not showing anything. It's not showing any chances for thunderstorms. I disagree. Tomorrow, okay, right? Wednesday, showing the chance for thunderstorms. I agree with that. Where exactly these storms are going to be, that's the big question. So for today, looking at the HRRR forecast model, I'm a little bit more in alignment with this one. Midday, most of the storms are to the west. Now, here's the thing, and again, I talked about this earlier. You got to get enough clearing in the skies. You got to get that daytime heating of the day. Otherwise, the chances for thunderstorms are slimmer. So probably just some showers. And maybe a sprinkle or light shower in the valley later this afternoon and into the evening. So we can't rule that out. But the mostly cloudy skies are going to stick around for a while. And there's a look at tonight at 8 o'clock. All right, now let's take a look at our in-house model. All right, kind of showing the same thing to start off with, but look at this. By midday, it's not showing really much in the way of anything other than the clouds and anything this afternoon. I disagree with that. I do think we will see some of those showers, especially for, say, the valley westward. And again, nothing significant. And then Tuesday, it shows mostly in the valley and some of the higher elevations. I don't agree with that. I don't think we're going to see a ton of rain there. And it's not showing much, but still a chance for thunderstorms in Siskiyou, Modoc, northern Lassen County. And I think that's where the better chances for thunderstorms will be on Wednesday. And then by Thursday, the much drier air is starting to move in at that point. So quite honestly, the forecast models are really having a hard time honing in and just kind of zoning in on exactly where these showers and thunderstorms are going to be. But bottom line is, with the added moisture in the atmosphere, tropical moisture, if there's enough breaks in the clouds, enough daytime heating. So that's going to be your sign, right? Wherever you may be, especially in the mountains, if you start the day off with mainly clear skies today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, do note that there's a very good chance you could see some afternoon showers and thunderstorms developing. This could even include the valley, folks. That's not entirely out of the question, but I think the better chances will be in the higher elevations. All right, switching gears, we're going to talk about the temperatures. Normal high for Redding is 101 degrees. We're going to be around that for the next 10 days. No big changes. Here's a look at your lake levels. You can see still over 100% for that historical average for Shasta Lake, or right at 100%. Take a look at the wave heights. They're actually starting to drop over the next 24 hours. There is a small craft advisory through 8 o'clock this morning. Otherwise, that will be allowed to expire later today. And then you can see the winds coming from the southwest at 5 knots. Here's your neighborhood forecast sponsored by Dignity Health and Grange Co-op. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 90s for the next few days in Trinity County. Best chance for thunderstorms will be there. Again, if we can get enough clearing, enough daytime heating, that could be the case. Otherwise, just some showers. Then we take it out to the coast. There could be some showers for you today and really next few days. but I don't anticipate it to be a lot. And that would be the same story for the inland areas, just not a lot in the forecast. Warming up too, up to about 100 degrees inland towards Tuesday and Wednesday. Siskiyou County, especially central western, maybe a chance today, maybe a chance tomorrow, better chances on Wednesday. So again, when we're looking at the 7-day forecast, keep in mind, things are going to change. And it's that, again, it's that kind of rule of thumb. If you start off or see several hours of some clearing skies, it doesn't have to be entirely sunny. If you see a lot of breaks in the clouds and there's partly cloudy, that can also be enough for us to see some of that daytime heating. All right, we take out to Modoc County, temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s for your daytime highs today. Eastern Mountains in the 80s and 90s, 89 degrees for Paradise, 86 out of Shingletown, and Susanville about 95 degrees. For the valley, to the south, you got temperatures low to mid 90s. Could you see a stray sprinkle, light shower today? Sure. Clouds will be on the decrease over the next few days. You're back up to about 100 degrees in Chico by Wednesday. 97 for Redding, 98 degrees in Palisadro, and 91 degrees out in Lakehead. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for the valley and for Redding. Up to 102 degrees by Wednesday. We see a little slight drop. Again, remember, the normal high for Redding is 101 degrees. We're going to be about 100 degrees, give or take, for the next 7 days. No big changes temperature-wise. But the main story for today and tomorrow and even Wednesday will be the added moisture, the tropical moisture that's in place. And that's also going to make it feel more muggy. So even though it's going to be like 96, it'll probably feel a bit warmer than that. So just kind of some things to kind of take into account. Once again, kind of be that feel like I'm in my studio in Redding, but I'm not. I'm in Mexico, believe it or not. That's the beauty of technology, right? So I want to thank everybody for watching this morning. We got a few people that have been checking in this morning as well. Let's see here. Oh, we got Tracy Sackett. She's saying good morning. What she got going on here? Good morning. Redding, raining lightly in MacArthur since yet early this morning. Very cool. Thank you for the information. Love your reports, folks. Love them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. You know what I don't have up here is the calendars. What is today? National what day, right? There's an old anchor I used to work with, Kelly Som, as a matter of fact. We used to make fun of this, like all the calendar days. And now here I am having a little fun with it. Let's take you to, there we go. National Moon Day. Now, we're talking about the moon, folks, not what you might be thinking. National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. Well, of course, that's for a lot of the husbands out there. National Lollipop Day. Big lollipop fan, today is the day to celebrate lollipops. Where is a place to get a lollipop in the North State? I don't know. Interesting. National Pennsylvania Day. All right, head on over to Pennsylvania. Get a flight out there today. National Fortune Cookie Day. All right, so maybe you can go to a Chinese restaurant. I think it's usually Chinese restaurants. They do the fortune cookies. Celebrate every day. Well, there you go. You can celebrate it every day. So there you go. And to celebrate national birthdays, you remember yesterday was my sister's birthday, July 19th. So I gave her a text and said, happy birthday to you. And while I'm here in Mexico, maybe I'll get her something, a gift from here in Mexico somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Let's see if I can get, since I'm kind of in this unusual environment, let's see if it's here. I can find it. I know I can't. Oh, I know why. I know why I can't find it. Because it should be there. There it is. Do that. There it is. I turned it off. All right. So that's going to do it for us today, folks. We're going to leave you with some cameras. Today's Monday. Meteorologist Aurora Murray will be in at noon and again this evening for your latest forecast. She'll be taking a look at any chances for showers and thunderstorms and where they may be developing. And I'll be back again tomorrow morning right here on Coffee with Krueger and have your updates for the rest of the week. In the meantime, enjoy the more, cloudy skies, slightly cooler temperatures, but more muggy. And be on the lookout for those thunderstorms here throughout the day, especially if you're in the mountains. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.